Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of season 2 Elevation. This episode is called Elevate Your Perspective. And in this episode, we're just going to be talking about the importance of elevating your perspective, the importance of elevating your mindset, and just how that affects everything, how it honestly starts with your perspective. So we're going to open up with a quote that really kind of inspired this episode. And it is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Bless you. He had a little silent sneeze. But yeah, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I feel like that's such a great quote. And it just relates so much to what we want to talk about today. It relates to the importance of perspective, because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at really do change. Like when you change that perspective, when you change your mindset, when you try to shift to just a more positive way of looking at life, what you look at will start to change. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to start off with 5 ways to elevate your perspective, and we're each going to reflect. But first, let's talk about what we sipping on today. Y'all, we first and foremost, cheers to us because we're about to graduate. So let's just do a quick cheers real quick to our listeners who may not be aware. We are currently seniors at St. John's University. Yes. We graduate this weekend. So I just want to do a quick cheers. Yes. We're sipping on Prosecco. If you're not watching our YouTube and you're just listening, we are sipping on some Prosecco right now. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to do a quick cheers to the seniors. Ladies, we started off our journey in college. Shout out to WSJU Radio. We started off freshman year, putting in that work as a radio station. We elevated to a podcast. So cheers to us. Cheers to the journey of K Squared. Cheers to college. Cheers to everything. Oh, wait. Oh, you got a little too early. But cheers to just what college taught us and our college journey. It's really been a journey. Literally. The goods, the bads, the uglies, everything we've learned, just New York in general. We're all coming from, Sabine, you a native, but you coming to the city still. Your home is a little farther away. Yes, and I'm coming from Atlanta. You coming from the West Coast. Different. We all came to New York, started this journey. So I just want to do a quick cheers to us. We're definitely going places. Cheers to K Squared, how far we've come. And to graduating. Cheers. We can't reach all the way, but we a little spread out. Cheers. Cheers to Wolf. Y'all don't see him, but he putting in the work.
Yes. Oh, we sipping. Excuse me.
Yeah, you gotta take a little sip. We can't cheers.
After you cheers, you gotta
sip. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
It tastes really good. You guys, we're 21 now, so I
like it.
We can dibble.
I'm 22. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, you're 22.
I'm ready 22.
Right.
I'm ready 22. Y'all really good. Shout out to all the May babies. Give me 2 weeks. My birthday was just 2 weeks ago. We turned up in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to home. But okay, bet. So let's start off with the first 5 ways to elevate your mindset, and then we're just gonna reflect on if we feel we personally do these things. Okay. And then we're gonna get into some things later. Okay. So number 1, they said you have to choose humility. Right. Nothing ruins perspective like ego. Humility helps us not only to listen more, react less, and see life through a more objective lens. Humility also helps us put into perspective what matters most. So I feel like that's important. I definitely don't think I don't do that enough. I don't practice humility enough. I really don't. But ego will ruin your perspective. When you're coming from such a egotistic spot, where you're just oh, me, or you're just super prideful and you're feeding into your ego, you automatically just don't really have a good perspective on things. You really have to set aside your ego to really see things from a different perspective. So I really like that one. The next one is discipline your mindset. Your thoughts influence the way you view the world. Research shows if you perceive yourself to be bad at math, you will perform badly at math. Studies show a person who reads a very frightening news article will perceive his or her surroundings with greater suspicion and fear. Be disciplined about the thoughts, images, and stories you allow into your mind. They influence your view of everything and everyone around you. Then that one is a fact. And I feel like we've talked about this on our episode before. Cleansing your timelines. Be really be really specific with who it is you're following. Be really specific with the kind of content that you're consuming.
Yeah.
Because it literally becomes you, and it automatically reflects how you view your surroundings. They just said studies show you read a frightening article, you automatically have more fear of your surroundings and just the people that are around you. So you constantly consuming all the tea on all the blog pages on the shade room, and you gossiping, then that's what you're gonna be. Like, you're just gonna want to gossip with your friends and talk about this and talk about that and talk about the next man, and that's just not good habits to perform. So I really do like that one. Do y'all feel like y'all do that enough? Like, are y'all really specific with like what it is that you allow yourself to partake in? People, content, just anything? Like, are you really specific with that, or do you feel like you kind of just like slack in that area?
I don't know. Like, for me, it takes a lot, and I don't want to say it takes a lot for me to get influenced by like what I see on the outside, but like when it comes to social media and stuff, like I follow the shade room.
Yeah.
But me following the shade room, it doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like some things doesn't affect me. Maybe people, more so for me, like actual people would affect me if it's like a situation where I need to like distance myself or whatever, or like cleanse myself from that person. That kind of hits me more, and that's something I have to work on.
Yeah.
In a sense to where it's like if I know somebody's not good for me, I might keep them around longer than they should be, you know?
Yeah,
So
I've
that's
done that
kind
too.
of my thing.
I agree. I do like my little shade room, like little stuff.
No, Savi definitely
on it.
Savi, you be on it.
So
like,
that would be hard for me.
yeah.
Like,
Just to stay in tune though.
but it's just really to stay in tune, and also like I do like entertainment news, like that's stuff
Right.
that I do like. So
Yeah.
I do find my little blogs in here and there, but not too much. Not like the gossip of the city. I feel like that's a little too much.
Gossip of the city, they be ODing sometimes.
Yeah, a little
The
too
city is a
much. So
lot.
I don't like too much stuff, but in terms of just getting influenced, like especially my Instagram, I feel like when I started Instagram, I used to follow just anybody, but now it's just like I like to structure it like stuff that I like. Like I love
Right.
travel vlogs. I love travel people, so I follow a lot of travel pages or cooking pages. I love my cooking pages, so I follow a lot of cooking pages, and also
I like the cooking pages too.
some influencers, but some like influencers that are actually not just a negative influencer. Of course, I
Yeah.
do follow my little Jada Waiter, Ari, and this, but other people besides that, they're not just in that kind of limelight. So I
Right.
feel like I just structure my social media to a point where I know it benefits from me and something I'm going to gain from.
Yeah, honestly, it's just that, like, what you look at just influences, like, the way you look at everything else. So, like, you may see something on the shade room about this celebrity, and automatically that is impacting how you view that person or how you view this specific situation. So I think it's just important to continue to discipline in that way, because I agree with y'all. Like, I feel like I can lack in that area when it comes to people, when it comes to content. Like, sometimes if I'm just getting ready or doing my hair, like, I like to turn on a little Love and Hip Hop reruns. Like, you know how on YouTube they be doing like the marathons and the storylines and stuff like that. Like, I would dead just watch that, but then again, I have to realize like that can make me be in a more rowdy like state of mind, or just be like, okay, I'm with, like, what's up?
That's
Like,
Watching-
anybody try me, they can get it. Like, I'm
Jocelyn's
ready.
Cabaret.
Like,
I be
Jocelyn's
watching. That's very
Jocelyn's
toxic.
Cabaret.
I've had a debate with my friends that like, Sabine, I'm not watching that. That show is just negative energy, and I'd be like, girl,
It's sad.
I
Shout
love
out to
it.
Zeus, best $4.99 I've ever
That's the best entertainment.
$4.99.
Bad Boys LA. That's my.
I ain't gonna lie. Bad Boys LA, Jocelyn's Cabaret, like, I ain't gonna lie.
That
I know
is
we getting off tangent, y'all, but Zeus,
That is a.
I could shout out to Zeus. Shout out to Zeus for raw reality.
That's some real reality, and I
That's
love
some
it.
raw
But
reality.
a lot of people watching it.
I'm not
I was
tapped into
hesitant.
Zeus.
I put it on. I put it
I'm
on
not
key.
tapped in.
I put it on keys.
Look at the TV. Y'all, that's another story.
No,
I put it on their TV. I was like, I signed into my Zeus. And my friend's like, "What's your password?" I'm like,
I'm telling you, no. Like I was hesitant about Jocelyn's Cabaret. I just felt like it was very like.
it was a lot.
It was a lot, and I used to watch Love and Hip Hop, so I know what Jocelyn like already comes with. So it's just I already knew the show was a lot. It has a lot of, I could say, some of negative Nancy's.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
lot,
very
and
much.
a lot of people don't want to consume that. So there's
No.
I've had debates with my friends like I just don't need that in my life. That energy, looking at women like that, like degrading
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like a little entertainment, like but
like,
it just depends what you gain from that. So I feel like that show could be a great example because that show's a lot, but it has great views, great ratings, but it's just sometimes it depends what you could get from that show.
and like
Setting your boundaries from your intake. Like, if you
Yeah.
know you can't take it, don't watch it. Because
Yeah.
it's not good for you. But if you
Yeah.
can take it and see it for what it is as just entertainment. When you turn off the TV,
Yeah,
it doesn't affect
but
you.
sometimes I feel like too it can be hard to set that boundary. Like some people may feel like, oh, I'm actively consuming this, because that's me. Like, oh, I'm actively consuming this. I'm already knowing this is entertainment. I'm already knowing this. Like, I feel like I have a pretty disciplined mindset, but sometimes like it just doesn't really matter. Like it influences you regardless of how you slice or dice it.
Yeah.
So like intake it, but like you said, know how to level it out. Like don't OD it. Like I'm not about to be watching that every time I'm getting ready. Like it may be once in a week, twice in a week, and maybe I'll throw in a sermon for majority of the week, or like a video that's just gonna like, you know,
Uplift
make me think about certain things and really uplift me. So the third thing is impact versus intent. This is interesting. Okay. One of the most difficult things to navigate in life is relationships. One way to help make your relationships with others move in a more positive direction is to understand the difference between intent and impact. Intent is what you mean to have happen. Impact is what does happen. Picture a team. A coach has the intent to motivate one of her players. She yells at the player to box out. Her intent is to push her player to perform better, but this player interprets the yell as the coach hates her. From this particular player's viewpoint, yelling connotates dislike and anger. The coach must recognize impact, and the player needs to be aware of intent. But both must work together to begin to understand each person's way of viewing the situation. Impact versus intent.
That's very interesting.
That's like that's a different perspective.
I like the example because it's true.
It's very true.
And honestly, I feel like that's what matters. Like intent versus impact. You can intend something, but what impact did your intent make?
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to reevaluate your intents to make sure that they have a good impact on your impacts. You know what I mean? Like it's a good impact on others. I've definitely been in situations where I may have intended to say this way, or I may have intended to like do this and it lead to this, but that's not what the person received. It impacted them in a different way. So I definitely feel like that helps with perspective a lot, because when you, before you intend to do anything, reflect on what impact your intentions are going to have. And then that will allow you to have a greater perspective on what it is that you're about to do, and it'll just help you come from a better place when you think about the impact before you think about the intent, before you even do the intent. Like what does this, like the action that I'm about to take, how will this be perceived? You know what I'm saying? Or how can this make somebody else feel? Like what is my impact gonna have, and what are my true intentions, you know? And how can I better communicate my intentions so that the impact is not perceived wrong? I like that one. I really do. How do y'all feel about it?
I like it. I feel like it's something, it makes you think. Like that's why I feel like I'm just sitting here like really just like thinking about it, because one, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, me neither.
So when you said that, I was like, dang, that's so true, because like you can intend one thing and someone takes it another way. Where it's like, dang, I really did not want you to feel this way. I didn't want you to take this way, but they took it that way. So I feel like learning, kind of like the coach, like understanding how and being empathetic to people, where it's like, you know what, I didn't intend for you to I didn't intend for you to perceive what I put out there the way you did, but I understand that you did. You know what I mean? Talk through it. Like I feel like when it comes to both like friendships and relationships, like understanding people more will change your perspective. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not going to think like your friends. You're not going to do things like your friends. So it's like when you're on the path of elevating your perspective, or elevating your perspective? I've just got a little, anyway. Yeah, so elevating your perspective, it's like understanding, being more understanding to people, and understanding that no matter what you put out, it might not be perceived the way that you want it to. So just talking like, hey, I didn't mean it for it to come that way. Like, I meant for it to do
and
this.
And evaluating your intent too, because sometimes like people just may feel like, oh, you know, these are my intentions, or this is what I'm about to do. It shouldn't really affect anyone. Like, take the time to think back on what you about to do, and ask yourself, okay, if I was in their shoes, how would I feel if this was done to, like, you know what I'm saying? If these were this person's intentions, or if this was done to me, like what would my impact be, or how would I take that personally? And I can say like I don't do that often, you know?
I don't do it enough.
Like, and I don't think a lot of people do that often. We're so acting like we're just gonna do this, we're just gonna do that, we're just gonna do that, and we don't think twice about it until after the fact. But when you're really trying to elevate your perspective, I like that. Think about impact over intent. Like, what is your impact gonna have? Because that's what's really gonna stick with people. Once you do it, it's already done and they're gonna remember that forever. So before you do that, make sure that it's clear so you don't have to have the conversation, or you don't have to, go through the aftermath of what the impact was. You can just be clear from the jump because you already thought about it from their shoes, So
That's how I feel. I honestly feel like just think before you speak, because also that's a big thing. Think before you speak, especially like the impact, because it's just like, if I say this, how's that person going to react? And also think about in their shoes, like they said this to me, how am I going to react? So I feel like just saying that impact does a lot, especially even if you don't intend to bring a big impact or a negative impact. Some people are going to perceive it. It's also in the eye, like whatever the beholder of the eye, like honestly, like whatever they're going to take from it or whatever they see from that, that's what they're going to take. And you can't change people's minds. Like, sometimes you do have to let people know how you feel. And they're not going to like it. They're not going to like the impact. They're like, wow, that hurt me, but I had to say it. So sometimes...
Even it's just a way to go about certain things. You got to just reflect on what you're about to do. Like, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, okay, if I do need to have this serious conversation, how would I want to be approached? Do I want to be on rah-rah? Like, how would I take somebody that's coming at me with certain energy? Like, sometimes we be mad at people and we just want to have attitudes and be bitter and be petty. But it's like, okay, how would I perceive that if I was on the receiving end? So let me have a better approach to where I would be accepting of that. And then again, everyone's different. Like, I may be accepting of certain things, you may be accepting of certain things. So, doing things, treating others how you want to be treated, it can go a lot of ways. Yeah. But that's why I like impact over intent. Just think about the impact of what you're about to do is going to have. The next one, which I really like, is elevate gratitude, which we talk about a lot. But it says bitterness, blame, ego, resentment, feelings of inferiority, and superiority all influence our perspective. One of the great ways to clear our minds and come to a better, more wise place is to elevate our gratitude. Studies have found a person with a high gratitude level is able to problem solve significantly better than a person with a lower gratitude level. Gratitude is a decision, and like any skill, requires repetition and purposeful intention. So not just saying, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, or, my life is so blessed, or, things like that. Yeah. Actually really meaning it and like acting on that gratitude as well. You know what I'm saying? Not just waking up and saying I'm thankful for things, but like actually showing that you're truly thankful for it by not having bitterness in your heart, or not being super egotistical, or not being bitter, not being petty. Like, that's how you really show gratitude, is in the way you act in life. Like, if you're truly grateful for life, you're truly all these things, like, you're gonna show that in your walk, So if you're not truly showing that in your walk, you saying you thankful for this, you thankful for that, but you still bitter, you still being petty, you still doing this, you still doing that, are you truly thankful? Like, you're not, because if you were, you wouldn't even be doing all of that. So I like that, and I feel like I can definitely work on elevating my gratitude. I don't think I even just wake up and say thank you a lot, or reflect on all the things that I'm truly thankful for. I haven't done that in like a month, honestly. So
I feel like lately, like, I don't know, or maybe as I get older, I learn to like appreciate life a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you see and you are able to understand like how when people are like, life is short, life is short. Life is short.
It goes by fast.
Oh my
100%.
gosh. So it's like sometimes I do like I sit back and I try my best, to like always tell people that I'm thankful for, that I like, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for our friendship. I'm thankful for you being there for me, my parents, my siblings, like people around me, thanking God for everything, literally, because he is everything that I have. So, and the reason why I have it. So it's like, I've recently been feeling that more, you know what I mean? Seeing people around us, like for instance, waking up tomorrow morning, we're about to walk across the stage, and that in itself is a blessing. We got to be thankful for it, because people don't get that opportunity. You know what I mean? People don't make it to that. You know what I mean? So it's like really thinking about that. I feel like as I get older, I really, really, really have like experienced that more heavily, because it's like you see people around you that don't make it to the things that you are able to do. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, or be around the people that I'm around, like I experience a lot of love in my life in many different channels, as I feel we all do, in many different ways. So it's like being thankful for that too really just kind of like opens your eyes to just see how blessed we all are,
Yeah.
So old age.
Like, literally just reflecting. Honestly, you even just saying that, like, I feel like my reflection on my gratitude, I could say thank you, or I'm thankful for my accomplishments. Even when we said, like, don't doubt yourself
Yeah.
of your past, be proud of, like, who you were before and who you are about to become. So I just feel reflecting and the gratitude, I just feel like I just been lacking on that. Even you guys just saying, like, I feel like it just came to me like an epiphany, like, wow, like
We
I
like
haven't
getting deep.
I haven't really reflect on like my gratitude, because I just been like, I'm thankful, made it to school, thankful for college. But you even just saying tomorrow's graduation, like, honestly, graduation hasn't been scaring me. I don't know why. I feel like it's just a regular day, but I'm just like trying to tell myself, like, Sabine, this is a big moment in your life, but I don't know why. Something about me is just like,
I just feel like we take so many things for granted nowadays. Like, everything is so fast, everything is so easy, everything is so on demand. You really don't think twice about a lot of stuff. You just do. And especially when you're living in major cities where it's just go, go, go. Here in New York, it's just go, go, go. There's like, we don't think twice about half the stuff we do.
Yeah.
We don't think twice about half the stuff we're blessed to be able to do.
100%.
And I think that's the major key. It's like when you really sit back and be like, whoa, like, I'm tripping over this, I'm tripping over that. But like, for me to even be in a position to be able to do this, that, and the third is a blessing, and I should be thankful for that. And because of that, I need to sit up straight. I need to walk like I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even really be walking around here with an attitude because this person said this, or this boy did this, or this girl did this. Like, what am I tripping for? Like, I'm just so blessed in so many other ways. Like, let me just keep it pushing. So definitely, I feel like showing more gratitude will help with your perspective, and it'll help with elevating your mindset too, because you'll just choose to not even really pay attention to what's going wrong.
You give
know what I
yourself
mean?
a reality check.
You give yourself a reality check. Like, we always point out what's wrong, but the reason we're pointing out what's wrong is because majority of everything usually goes right. You wake up, you do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Situation may not be what you want it to be, but majority of the time, everything is good. You know what I mean? And the last thing that we're going to talk about, the last thing the article says as it relates to elevating your perspective, elevating your mindset, is admit you are wrong. Let's really talk about
accountability.
Let's
That's a big
talk
word,
about
but
how
accountability.
not a lot of people, like, I don't even think I like admitting that I'm wrong.
100%.
If you know me, you know I am super stubborn. And I will just keep it, I'll just be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I really do not admit when I'm wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm with you
Like,
on
I
that.
do, but I don't. Like, if somebody really can break it down to me, like, you did this, you did that, I'd be like, okay, I apologize
Yeah.
for that. You know what I mean?
Not for that.
But
It's
but
the breakdown. I need a breakdown.
But the point, but that's the point. Like, you would have to give it to me. I can't even really think of a time where I've like went out of my way to like just go to somebody and be like, look, like, I did this, I did that, like, and I was wrong for this, and I personally feel like I'm wrong, so I just want to apologize for that. Like, it'll always have to be a conversation or somebody telling me, like, you did this wrong, I feel this way, and then maybe I'll apologize and admit I'm wrong. But, like, going out of your way, like, when no one says anything to you, or you know you may have did something wrong, or you know you may have, like, made someone feel away, going out of your way to go apologize before they say anything to you, or, because 9 times out of 10, people don't like saying stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? You may do something wrong, and they just, they're not going to say anything. Like,
Confrontation is
going
scary.
out of your way to admit you're wrong, people don't do that. People genuinely don't do that. They will literally just wait till you bring it up.
It's just the scary part, like, okay, so, yeah, I'm wrong. Like, it's
I
just
know
hard.
I'm wrong,
it's just a
but,
human
like,
thing. It's hard for us to admit that we're wrong.
Yeah.
Even though we are wrong, it's hard. And confrontation, honestly, I hate confrontation. I really struggle with that. I love to talk, but when it comes to, like, serious topics or something I'm in the wrong, it's so hard for me. And it's just like when it comes to just expressing and taking accountability, like the more, honestly, college has showed me to learn how to take accountability. Because growing up, I slacked in that department. I slacked in that. So now, even just graduating, I'm like, now I'm learning. I'm like, all right, I'm learning to take accountability. I did this. I see why she felt upset. Or I see why he felt upset. So you know what? I'm going to break it down. I'm learning how to break it down with myself.
Yeah.
Because not everybody, like, you're getting older. No one should have to tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
So you should know. So do a breakdown with yourself. Like, sit there. Like, before I even respond to this person or respond to this text message. Let me sit there and evaluate and dissect what she's saying.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I see why she felt like that. Let me see even her shoes. If this happened to me, how would I feel?
Right.
So you just gotta have a breakdown with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been that person. Like I've called Kaylin before. I've called Brooke, who y'all will see a couple times. Anybody. Like I'll be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I had an attitude earlier. I don't know. I've just been that person because it will literally eat me alive.
Yeah, you
like that's just the kind of person
be that way. Like I'll be like that too. Cause I used to not be like that, like straight up. Like, but when you started doing that to me, I was like, okay, maybe like, and that's the importance of like surrounding yourself with like people who will just push you out of your comfort zone or just, you know, show you how it is to do something. But yeah, like you do be doing that. And I've had to start doing that because I'll be quick to just have an attitude or just be like, I don't want nobody talking to me, like I'm just not in the mood, and just have no explanation. But sometimes it's good to just let your friends know, like, hey, I know earlier I had an attitude, like I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Communication, honestly.
Admitting you're wrong in small instances like that is good.
It helps you to start because it's like obviously nobody wants to be like super confrontational when it comes to like something really big, like you know what, I did this, I'm sorry. But like I don't know, I feel like it enhances your relationships a little bit more when you are able to be like, you know what, I did this.
Yeah.
I did this. I'm sorry.
It says a lot about it. It says a lot about you and how much you value the relationship.
Right. Because if you don't care, you don't care to have a conversation with somebody. You don't care to apologize. You don't care to be like, you just like, oh, okay, you felt that way, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but that's terrible because
it is.
Like, any relationship that you're in, friend or not, you should care. You know what I mean? Because why are you in it? So it's like,
why you in it?
Right,
You don't care about it, get out of it.
Yeah, like
and
you don't care about
that's
it,
the
get
thing
out of it.
too, get out of it. And that's okay. It's okay to get to a point where you're with somebody and you just like, I genuinely just like don't care about this relationship no more. Or certain things have happened repeatedly where it's like, okay, I
don't care to nurture this anymore.
Yeah, I don't care to nurture this anymore, and I'm out. And as you should, like, don't continue to fake the funk with people in relationships. Like either be all in or just be out. But I wanted to read what the article said about admitting you are wrong. It says, when you do something wrong, admit it and move on. People who do something wrong and then spend so much time trying to defend their actions when they are indefensible become more entrenched in their problems. Don't hold mistakes so personally. Everyone makes mistakes. Take responsibility, forgive yourself, and ask for forgiveness, and learn what you can do and move on. Shame and blame only create more mistakes. And that's a fact. When you're shameful about what you did, it doesn't get any better because you didn't even get it out. And when you blaming somebody else, when you're on the other side of it, it still doesn't get any better. So when you're the one who needs to apologize, just go ahead and do it, because you could really beat yourself up over shame and be killing on the inside, like dying on the inside over shame. Like, I'm so mad I did this, whatever, or like, I just feel so bad, or like, you just have shame. Like, it's not fun to feel shame. Like, I've felt that before, and I just be like, it's not fun. Like, it's not fun to just feel or like be in that energy. Like, feeling shameful about something, no, like, it's the worst, because you just be like, dang, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, you know. But blaming also, like, being on the other side of it, where it's like, forget you, or you just mad and you're just like, why did that person do that to me? And you're just not being you're not being forgiving, and you're not being open to the conversation. That's also a bad thing as well, because you're still eating up on the inside of the thought of that person doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So both ends, shame and blame, just mute it. Like, do what you gotta do. Have the conversation or forgive. That's it. Like, that's literally it. So that wraps up the 5 ways to elevate. I mean, I feel like they had some really good points. Like,
they did.
And it really makes you think, and it really makes you reflect. That's what we wanted this episode to be about, is to just really sit and reflect on what we're doing, how we can elevate our perspectives, the importance of elevating your perspective. Perspective literally just is the end all be all. Like, that's the start. Like, you know, when you're going through anything in life is gonna life regardless. So
it is.
You gotta have a strong perspective in order to really get through things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you literally have to shift the way you look at things in order to stay sane with life. Because when you take things for what they are sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with taking things for their are, but just having a good perspective about the things that are happening to you is a better way to just not fall and crumble and just destroy yourself. When you get so caught up on everything, it will kill you. And I've been in that position before where like I didn't have the best perspective on things in life. You know, you have that victim kind of mindset and you feel like, why me? Or you feel like everything's crashing down on you at once. Like your perspective sometimes is the only thing that can really like help you out in those situations.
Right.
The way you look at things. And I've seen that in people too, where I may look at something a certain way, the same situation, I may look at it a certain way and other person look at it differently, and I see how it's affecting them versus how it's affecting me. Like your perspective will literally save you from like feeling certain ways. Like it will keep you sane. Like literally in the most messed up situations, people be like, how did you get through that? Like how did you forgive that? Or how did you even like, oh girl, couldn't be me. I would have did this, that, forget that. And it's just like, no, like your perspective can really save you. It really like puts you on a completely different level than your counterparts if you have a strong one.
And people have to understand like it's not, and I think that's such a big thing nowadays that people are so stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
Nobody can change me. I'm gonna be the way I am to the day I die. Like
people defend the way they are, especially with this whole Zodiac thing. Like, oh, you know, that's just a Scorpio in me.
Like,
that's just a Libra in me.
Look,
Savita Libra. Savita Libra. I'm not hating.
no.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, that's our culture nowadays. Like,
But
everybody likes to blame everything on something.
Yeah.
Like, the way the stars are aligned is the way
Absolutely.
I am.
What
Can
you
y'all
call
cut it
retrograde?
out?
That's why I'm
Right,
acting.
yeah, I was just saying
This is why I'm
about
so
that
mean.
earlier today. Like,
It's retrograde.
Okay, but let's
No,
talk
it's
about
not.
the retrograde, because the retrograde, I really,
I know. I don't believe in that. You gonna
I
tell me
don't know.
you gonna tell me the moon gonna tell me why I'm mad this week? No,
Right.
Like I don't believe in that. Zodiac. Okay.
All
see
I
some
know
traits.
is a lot of weird things have been happening
They
to me
have.
lately. A lot of
But-
offsetting things have been happening to me lately. And it's just been throwing me off. But, you know, I'm trying to stay sane.
But
Elevate
it
your
can't be
perspective.
retrograde. The
When is
moon,
it over?
The moon can't change. I don't even know. I don't.
I don't either. I don't either.
Because I don't
just
believe in
know-
that Mercury retrograde. Because like you're not about to tell me the planet's gonna make me have a weird week,
Right,
No,
or
like,
make some technology not work.
I like
or,
Zodiac.
no,
like I do like my
no.
Zodiac. You know,
My
shout
phone
out to
has
my
been
Libras.
glitching lately.
Yes,
My
but
phone-
that could have happened.
But that's
That
Apple.
could have happened.
That's Apple. You
That
can get
coulda
Apple
happened.
Care.
I need
You can go to
I
Apple.
need to update it.
See, you gotta
I do need
update
to
it.
update my phone. I
That
still have
coulda
an iPhone
happened.
11. They probably finna make this crash. in a
Exactly.
minute.
My phone is
You know how
done.
Apple
My
get.
phone done.
You
Yeah.
can't
Everybody
have a-
want to blame
you can't-
everything.
I can't
else
blame
but
it on the
themselves.
planets. Now you're dragging it. The stars and the crystals. Y'all killing me now with this stuff. I like my zodiacs, but now people getting moon water, putting their water for the moons to get good. You tell
It's
me
OD at this point.
you
Like,
won't.
it's
The
really
water is
OD.
gonna protect you. Now
Like, it's
you
really
have
OD.
lost it. Like I just can't. Like literally last week I'm with my friend. And we driving. She got a crystal in the car. I'm like, "Ooh, girl, that's nice." She slept. She's like, "Don't touch it. It's supposed to protect me."
Oh
I was like,
gosh, honestly,
I
I'm
said,
sorry. We might
girl-
ruffle a little feathers with
I
this
said,
one,
girl,
bruh.
you gonna tell me the crystal gonna protect you? Okay, but you know what? girl?
Okay.
She slapped your head.
She said, "Don't touch it. This is bad energy. Now we're gonna get into an accident." I said, "Well, I'll Uber. Well, I'll Uber since you got bad energy."
People are. I'm not gonna call nobody crazy.
No one's
but
crazy.
the
It's just
things
a
that
little
people put energy
eccentric.
The
into
extent that people go for this star, moon, sunshine
is a
Crystals.
lot.
It's the crystals for
You
me
putting
now.
your crystals in the window
car.
sill and
Yes, to
they
protect you.
I'm sorry.
I believe
I'm
a
sorry.
cross.
I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm
I
sorry.
understand religious, but like now the crystal, you got a little mineral to protect you from your car. All right.
Where the mineral come from?
I don't know. They go to these special stores. They have it in the city. Special spiritual stores for
Look.
crystals.
But I'm just saying, y'all need to ask yourself, who made the crystals? Who created the crystals?
I don't know. It's a spiritual thing, but like people get moon water. I've heard of moon water.
Let's just get straight to the source. Y'all trying to go everywhere but the source. That's the funny thing.
Left, right,
That's
up
too
and
much.
down.
I could do
Y'all
zodiacs.
trying to go
That's too
all
much.
around
You
God.
charging your crystals in the windowsill.
Girl, I'm not putting
Like
no
you charging
God.
your
What up? They be
God
charging
right
their
here,
crystals with
and
the sun.
everybody just going around God, and God just looking like, okay,
Why?
Like it's
It was like, girl, she had the whole crystal. I'm thinking it's a little
Nah, that's
design touching it. She just got mad at me,
Uh-huh.
like, we're gonna get into an accident. And I said, well, we about
That's
to find out.
funny.
And we did it.
We about to find out. It's
That
crazy.
is
The crystal,
funny.
I got home. I'm here right now. So clearly the crystal does protect us or
People
whatever.
be strong in their beliefs.
Well,
but-
I let them rock. You know, sometimes I look at little people like, okay, girl,
Okay.
do
I
do
don't
what you
know.
do.
I don't know. I do feel like a lot of weird stuff has been happening to me lately, but it could just be just
Life.
life.
It's
is
just
life.
life. Because
It
think
could
about
just
it.
be
Back in the
life,
day,
life.
we weren't saying the moons was making me act like
Yeah,
this.
we
So.
wasn't.
we was just acting like it, or things was just happening. when
Yeah,
they
like you
chose to
can't be the
happen.
planet.
You know, you
is
got
changing.
seasons of your life that you just
Exactly.
weird stuff just happens.
It's
Yeah.
part of
Like,
life. Things are gonna
happen.
happen weirdly. So I don't
Yeah.
believe in the planets. I like my zodiacs. I like my traits and stuff like that. But when it comes to the moons and the planets,
Little
and all
Pluto.
that,
Pluto and them.
controlling the mood of the worlds, and everybody's off. Like that's too much.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Little Pluto and them
Y'all-
telling you if you happy or not.
Elevate
Tell
your
you piece of
perspective,
ad.
okay? Elevate your perspective, especially when it comes to all the stars.
It's
the sunshine,
important.
the moon,
It's
the water.
important.
Please elevate your perspective. Really, really do research on what it is that you are putting your all into. Make sure that it really aligns with what it is that you want to do. And yeah, man, perspective is everything.
It is, you guys. We challenge you, honestly, to like, once you listen to this, as we say every little episode, but like, it's important to take something from
Apply
it,
it. Take
understand
action
it,
from
and
what we're
apply
saying
it
this week.
Yeah.
Take action.
Forgive somebody for something that they did to you. If it was 2 years ago, if it was yesterday, if it was 10 years ago, forgive somebody, because when you carry a lot of dead weight on you, it starts to reflect in everything that you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's like you got hate in your heart for something, like it just reflects. So it's like, change your perspective, learn to be open to that. You know what I mean? It might be a little uncomfortable. You might have to bite your tongue. You might have to be like, oh, I can't stand that. But you know what? I'm going to choose positive. I'm going to think happy thoughts.
That's how I try to live my life. But at the end of the day, like, y'all, it's a work in progress.
It's
And
hard.
like,
It's a journey.
We're
It's a
a work
journey.
in progress ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we literally, I have to take and apply a lot of this stuff. Like, I will try to apply this to my life this week. Like,
It's a
I do a
journey.
good job moving with grace the whole nine, but I sometimes feel like I get tired of like playing that role too.
100%.
But you know,
I'm with you on
but
that.
that's the struggle of it. Like, you can't be like, I'm just tired of playing that role of being a bigger person and sucking it up and nobody wanting to just say what's going on or communicate and admit stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the challenge of it, and that's the beauty of it too. It's like, it's hard. It's not easy to move with grace. It's not easy to pick up and forgive and just keep it pushing when you want, that same energy given to you. But that's the thing. You can't always like expect that in return. Sometimes you just gotta like let it go.
Yeah.
And do what you gotta do. But that wraps up episode 5. y'all.
Yes, you guys, that wraps it up. We hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, cheers. I mean, this is like our last episode before we become big graduates, big degreed women. So, you guys, shout out to all the people that are graduating high school, college, whatever level you are at. Shout out to you guys again. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this week. We hope you guys enjoyed what we chatted about, and we challenge you again to elevate your perspective.
Yes.
But we will see you guys next Friday.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Guys.